my understanding is legally you are male, but you feel this judge is questioning your gender.
Yes, I'm fully recognized as legally male through my driver's license, social security index, passport, birth certificate, and in Hawaii I married Nancy as husband and wife.
So what is all this about? I'm confused.
I'm confused as well. Unfortunately, it's not better circumstances. I'm going through a divorce with Nancy, and in the 11th hour, the judge is now questioning whether or not this case is within jurisdiction, whether or not he wants to even grant us a divorce.
This gets kind of mind-bending a little bit. If you want to remarry, could you remarry in Arizona, or would they give you trouble about that too?
That's an excellent question, because I do have a girlfriend and she's anxiously awaiting my divorce so that we can get married. So I think possibly it might be polygamy. That might be a good question for David.
So again, Thomas, so you have a girlfriend, and how does she feel about obviously everyone must wonder, well, how does she deal with this, and what kind of relationship is that, and how does it work? So give my viewers sort of an update on how you guys found each other, how she feels about your gender identity, and how she feels about these legal struggles.
Wow. Well, she's extremely supportive. The kids love her to death. I've been with her for quite a few months now, and she's been extremely supportive of me. I didn't expect this process to take so long, and going through divorce is always difficult, but I'm just trying to start a new life, and hopefully with her.
Okay, now I want to speak to your attorney, David Cantor. David, your client was legally married, man and woman, in the state of Hawaii, right? So Hawaii recognizes this marriage. How come Hawaii can't divorce the marriage?
Well, Thomas could get a divorce in Hawaii, but he'd have to move back to Hawaii for 3 months, which his wife would not allow due to the custody. Whether they're married or not, there's a legal adoption, so she has some say in whether he'd move with the kids or without the kids. Secondly, after he waits 90 days, once he files for a divorce, it could take another minimum of 2 months, so he'd be without his kids for 5 full months. He is an Arizona resident. He deserves to be allowed to get his divorce in Arizona, and so is Nancy. She's also an Arizona resident.
Now, we asked Maricopa Superior Court for a statement. A representative told us they have none. They are waiting for additional documents from Thomas Beatie and his attorney. David, what are they talking about? What kind of documents do they have to get?
We've already filed our brief on July 30th. And in fact, Nancy's attorney also filed concurring with our opinion that this is a valid marriage, therefore there can be a valid divorce. So I'm not sure if they hadn't seen those documents yet, but I'm not sure what they're talking about with additional documentation.
Let me go to some calls if you guys don't mind. Let's talk to Sheila in Illinois. Sheila?
Hello, Dr. Drew.
Sheila.
Nice to talk to you.
You too.
Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is if you bear children and you ministrate and you're a woman. And so I think I tend to agree with Arizona in this rare instance, if I might add, that Thomas should be considered a woman. I mean, he was born a woman. He's chosen to give birth, and so I don't see if you want to have your cake, that you should be able to eat it too.
I find it humorous that you agree with Arizona in this one instance. That's kind of comical. But Thomas, let me go to you, and I'll have Mr. Cantor, I'll have you also comment on this. We're confusing biology and legal definitions here a bit. That's what's so difficult about this, no?
It is, and for the state of Hawaii as well as the state of Arizona, I did everything required of me to get a legal sex change, and it does not include sterilization. So under the full law, I'm still legally recognized as a man.
Mr. Cantor, you have any further to add to that?
Absolutely. If the statute is what governs for jurisdiction, and if the statute states that if you have a full mastectomy, have hormone treatment, and have a doctor sign off that it's a sex change operation, a licensed doctor, the state then issued a new birth certificate, driver's license, Social Security, passport. And think about it, a passport, that involves national security, and the federal government has said it's okay. In addition, Thomas has filed bankruptcy papers in the past as man and woman or husband and wife. The adoption papers recognized. husband and wife or man and woman.
And
that's how the law reads.
It seems that the law is more attached to the notion of gender. Is that be a way of saying it?
Well, I think they specifically did not put in a requirement for sterilization. And I believe the legislature, the legislative intent was so that somebody could foreseeably change their mind and either gender back or still have the ability to have children. Now, that also includes if there were functioning, let's say, testicles that hadn't receded or that had receded, that they could withdraw sperm from a person that was now a female in the eyes of the law, yet still have a sperm. So they've left it to where sterilization is not mandatory for a sex change operation.
Another call from Ethan in California. Ethan, you had a comment?
Hi, Dr. Drew. Thanks for taking my call. In response to the last segment you just did, the fact of the matter is Arizona recognized this divorce. I mean, this is a divorce in court recognized, as the attorney said, by between a man and a woman. So if Arizona's going to recognize this divorce, they have to recognize Mr. Beatie's gender, that being male. That's the legal gender that Mr. Beatie's recognized by in the divorce, which, again, was recognized in an Arizona state court. So if they're going to recognize that divorce legally, they also have to recognize the gender that Mr. Beattie assigned by the court as well. So for the previous caller to say that Arizona's right in this is wrong, at least looking at this logic.
You guys agree?
Well, technically, the judge did recognize and was going to move forward with the divorce once he recognized the temporary orders. Then he backpedaled and said, wait a second. I don't know if I can recognize it. I have questions. So technically, he has now reversed his own opinion, and he's put it on hold until we could brief the issue, which we've given to him, and he will rule sometime after August.